Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another banger episode of High Top Sports. I'm in the studio with my main man, Steve and Chad Holly. Steve, what's up, dog?
Shelton, my friend, how are you today? It has been too long, sir.
It has. The week, sometimes like we do this, but sometimes it feels short, sometimes it feels long. This one felt a little longer. Felt like it's been a while, Stevie. It's been a while. Yes, crazy weekend, great weekend. We're going to get into all of it. But first, we have a special guest today. Not the winner of March Madness. We've got a pretty cool one. One of my favorite guests thus far. By hands down. We've got the main man, Jet. He goes by Jet because he's fast, he's smooth, and he's quick. From BFL, Basement Football League, the founder, the owner, the editor, the director, the star of the show. He does it all. What's up, Jet? How are you, Bubba?
Doing pretty good. How are y'all?
Fantastic, my man.
Doing well. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Problem. Anytime.
So to give people a little background of who you are, Jet, just in case they don't know, Jet and his buddies, they have a channel on TikTok and YouTube as well called BFL, Basement Football League. I came across these guys on TikTok one day, and let me just pull up the video here to kind of give you an understanding of what's going on. Here they are in Jet's basement, up in Kentucky. Obviously, it's got to be up north with a basement, playing a little inside football, basement football. And I saw this, and I was like, this is exactly what I used to do as a kid with my little brothers. I would play in the living room. They'd be standing. I'd be on my knees. I'd be tackling them, playing games. And, I mean, the footage is just absolutely incredible. I'm assuming that's you with the grab there. Is that you with your knees in?
That is me.
Look at, is it a catch? Is the thumbnail? And yes, it is a catch.
It is a catch.
Yes.
So Jet, tell us a little bit, right? How did this get started? When did you start this channel?
I started November, after Thanksgiving.
Okay. And what made you want to start this?
I played with my friends one night, and I just had that thought of filming it. We didn't have the advanced stuff that we had, when we made the first video, but I just had that feeling, and I thought it'd be fun and be entertaining for other people.
And I think you were spot on with that, because obviously we're here now because we've enjoyed your content. It's been such a great enjoyment that the Detroit Lions commented on your video saying a legend is born. Is that right?
That is correct.
Now, did you guys have a little back and forth convo, or did it die there?
I replied saying, "Oh my God," but they did not, we didn't really speak after that.
Hey, look, Detroit Lions said a legend is born. I don't think anything else is needed. I think that's absolutely incredible.
I've never got that kind of recognition in my life. I just want to point that out. So, Jet, well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
So you mentioned in the precast that your original count got banned. Tell me kind of what happened and how the revamp has been going on.
So, I just was at Maddox's house. He was in the first video.
Okay.
And he's in the video that you're showing right now. He's the quarterback.
Okay.
Well, so I was at his house, and I'm just like looking at the notifications every second.
Sure.
It's
sure.
just we were at our prime, and I just lose my account. I don't see it on there, and I'm panicking, and it's gone. And I try to log back into it with the email that I had connected to it, and it says your account is permanently banned due to multiple community guidelines. And to be honest, I did nothing wrong.
I mean, what could you do wrong in a basement football league that would be against community guidelines?
I'm curious. I have to know.
They didn't tell you?
No, but that's why in every video, if you want to look at the hashtags, I put free BFL in every single one. Even though
I love it.
I DM TikTok and everything. I don't think they'll answer, but just trying the hardest to get it back. But
how many followers did you have before it got banned?
It was at 12,000.
Oh my goodness! And you're down to 5 now. Wow, that's cutting them off at the knees right there. Look,
that's horrific.
I respect your hustle. I respect you getting back on and continue to grind and making a new channel and getting back at it, getting the Detroit Lions and commenting. You got a video with 2.1 million views, correct? This is the video, I think, right?
That is correct, yeah.
Now, you also on your YouTube channel, like this is kind of more just the sound bites that go over this, but on your YouTube channel, you play the entire game and you commentate during the game. And in this video, you also have, I've seen, look, I'm fanboying here. You've got a GoPro on the end zone to get the shot, right? You get the goal line shot to see if he's in or out. I love it. They pause it and it goes to it. Did he score? It's incredible.
Yeah, yeah, we just have fun with it. We try to get because with the people there, we try to get all their phones and we just try to set it up perfectly. We got a good goal line camera, and that just gets, like, if you look in further videos on the in and out play, like if he was in or out, that has like 300,000 views.
They're great videos.
There was a goal line footage, and just to make it interesting.
I love it.
So I do have one question here. So if both teams disagree on the call, what's the tiebreaker? Do we have a referee? Is there an in-house go-to?
Go to the footage.
Go to the footage.
Go to the footage, baby.
That's what you. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is amazing.
And you just agree on something.
They go to New York. They call New York. Yeah. Hey, so Jet, talk to me. Is there going to be some organization? We're going to have a season, maybe. Maybe we get some teams. Where's the future going on?
Well, that is questionable. I had really just trying to think. Maybe we can get something done this week.
Okay.
I don't know.
In the works.
We'll
I
see.
like it. Okay. Go ahead.
Has plans. I don't really have it's not a yes, but like we'll see.
It's in the pipeline. Okay.
It's in the pipe, yeah.
Jet, well, man, I really appreciate you taking the time, man. It's your spring break up there in Kentucky. I appreciate you stopping by. Big Cubs fan, we found out. He's got the W hanging up in his room, guys. Cubs super fan. He's got a Chris Bryant signed jersey. Man, I really appreciate you, man. You've been awesome talking to you back and forth. I love the channel. I hope to see this thing get back over 12,000. Hopefully we get the Lions, the Browns, we get everybody to comment on your stuff because what you're doing is absolutely incredible. I admire your hard work, the effort, the thought to put something like this together with your friends. It's awesome, man. I love it. You brought me back to my childhood, so, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Do you have anything to say to your people, to your fans, anything you want to say before you go?
I don't really know. Just thanks.
Perfect. Like and subscribe. Sure. Go follow. Hey, free BFL. That's
free
all.
BFL.
That's what it needs to be.
See you guys.
All right, Bubba. Be good, man. Stay safe.
You too.
What a legend.
Kid is a rock star.
What an absolute legend, dude. That was too cool.
Both of us should be embarrassed of looking at ourselves in the mirror and we're bringing this kid on like he's the rock star. He's the man. And what have we been doing wrong? Where were we? Like, why didn't we come up with this? I want to know who the MVP of the league is this year.
I have questions. Let's get to the comments. Brian Carter. Hey guys, hope you are great. Brian, we hope you are great. Thank you for stopping by. Maverick. Hey buddy, how are you, man? Daniel, back at it again with the white vans.
With the white vans, Daniel. We have a special guest star. If I'm aware of who this Jeff W. Steele fella is, I believe it was a man who experienced hours of harassment over the course of the last few days. We took his phone from him. We liked, we subscribed, and we
turned on the bell. That's why.
And we told him, if you don't log on this Wednesday, you still have to come back and hang and look at us. So, my gosh,
thanks,
Jeffrey Steele. Thanks for stopping by.
Love you, Jeff. Thanks, Bubba. Daniel, the dog swept the Gators. Look, Daniel, what's up, bro? It's too soon for all that negativity, man. We're here to have a good time. We're getting warmed up, and then you got to come in with that nonsense. It's way too soon for that, man. Way too soon. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. March Madness recap. We had 30 submissions. I was going to say submissions to the bracket. And there was probably 29 other people that I would have loved to have win. 29. There's one guy that I didn't want to win, and that was Tim Young. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Young is your winner. He's been paid, I think, kind of, sort of. I asked if he wanted to be on tonight, but he's not ready. So the guy's a prima donna. We'll see whenever he's ready to grace us with his presence to come on the show. We'll be more than happy to have him. It was a great March Madness. It was a blast. Steve, any thoughts on the outcome?
Well, look, I mean, this is clearly Tim Young's channel. I mean, we're on his time. He won the bracket, so we'll just sit with bated breath on when Tim wants to join High Top Sports.
Do you know he won our bracket and the work bracket, and he had two different teams winning both brackets? He picked Kansas in our bracket, and he picked Duke in the other bracket. The guy just hit payday.
Absurd. Yeah, it's absurd.
Like, what? The biggest thing for him is he had Arkansas beating Gonzaga and he had Duke making the Final Four. Those things were the big takers for him. Yeah. Look, he had it.
Yeah, he didn't even win the most number of games in the work league, but he just won the ones that mattered there towards the end. So
sure,
bravo, hats off to him. Look, if you win two
done.
leagues with two different teams, you didn't just go chalk on both. You just didn't follow the same footprint in two different brackets. You went a little off your own course. And look, if the guy's got that kind of mojo, if I'm him, I'm buying a lottery ticket or something.
Seriously.
Like, there's no reason not to. My goodness.
Maverick says Florida versus FSU in softball going into the bottom of the ninth. The Gators have a chance to walk it off. We were up 2-1, so I'm assuming Florida State must have tied it up. Jeff, go team. And Daniel says, much love to High Top Sports. Like and subscribe. Ladies and gents, we're close to 1,000. I mean, I can damn near smell it. I mean, hop aboard this train. Let's get this bad boy moving. You know what I'm saying?
I can taste it as well as this wine.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's in your hand.
Right there.
All right.
I could be double fisting subscribers right now. That's where I'm at with this thing.
Moving on with some more March Madness talk. They're peacocks. You got to let them fly. I'm proud of that one, okay? So that's why I had to get it out there. The boys who took the St. Peter's Peacocks to the Holy Land, I doubled down on them the weekend they beat Purdue, made some cheddar off that. The 90% of the team is leaving. And we've talked about this. And so these are one of the times I think we're always going to have, do I love it or do I hate it, the transfer portal / NIL adjustment. I love it for this reason. It's a 50-50, surprisingly, because here's why. I love it because I'm glad these guys get to go out and go to a bigger school to allow themselves to be in the tournament again, because look, it's marketing for them. Everyone knows who Doug Eddard is now, right? Or Eater, whatever. No way he stays, they do that same kind of thing. We're going to forget about it. He goes somewhere else and makes another splash. That's just more opportunity for him to be seen. Plays better competition, grows, etc. Love that. I hate it though for schools like St. Peter's where it's going to kill the dream. It's going to kill the Cinderella aspect of things, because who's going to go there now? Like, yeah, they got on the map, but nobody's going to go there. They would go there because Doug's there. I want to go play with Doug. I'm going to go play with this team and be part of this new history. But that history's now dead, and now it's over, which it is what it is. It's not that sad, but it's just, again, it's part of the moments.
Look, we've talked about this enough. Sports, college sports anyway, has become very transactional. It doesn't surprise me that these guys are leaving, but at the same time, and somewhat to your point, there could have been a recruit that's going to make the commitment to go play at St. Peter's because he's going to get the opportunity to play with Eddard and make himself look good. He's going to have the opportunity to be on that team who's likely got a shot at maybe coming back to the dance. And having the transfer portal just rip this team to shreds and let them just go anywhere they want like they're free agents, it's difficult for that team to now recruit because those guys aren't going to get the opportunity to play with the stars that got them there. In a normal college mindset, you think, well, these guys are committed to the school, so I'm going to go play with them until they're gone, and then I'll take their shoes. I'll take the next step with them, and I'll be that role player. And when you turn the transfer portal into a vacuum and it takes away everything, the chances of St. Peter's returning to where they were it makes it almost impossible.
One and done for sure. It was a one-hit single. You know what I mean? It was like Sinead O'Connor, whatever her name is. I can't. The shaved head. You know what I'm talking about? Like the 80s.
Sure.
No. Am I on a lonely island out here right now?
I don't know. I don't understand how you just made an 80s reference that I don't know. But
that's what I'm concerned about here. Maybe I said her name wrong. It's the bald head chick. God, I wish I knew the song right now. I can't think of it. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, Sinead O'Connor.
There it is.
You're making a reference to music. Yeah. I thought we were still in sports.
Well, it was a one-hit wonder. It was a single. That was a stretch. That's on me. I appreciate. Thank the Lord that you're here because no shot anybody else is getting that. The reason I know who she is, real quick, sidetrack, because this is definitely worth hearing. Back in the day when MTV actually showed music, right? So this is kind of where my music knowledge came from, was MTV. Like when Michael Jackson died, like he like controlled MTV for a month. I learned everything about Michael Jackson, but they always had like the top 25 hits from the 80s, the one hit wonders, and her song always popped up like every once a month. That show would come on. I love that song. I sing that song to my wife all the time. Like it's just,
I hate that song.
I love it.
I love it. When I was a kid and it was actually popular. That it just got
I would imagine
over, and you're just like, no, I'm out. I have officially given up. I'm not ever going to like this song, only because you insisted upon yourself with it. So
I love it.
But yes, Sinead O'Connor, I'm here for the win. Back to you, Sheldon.
Thank you. And Buddy mentions too, the St. Peter's head coach is leaving for Seton Hall. Wouldn't be surprised if those boys just all shipped to Seton Hall. So
it's not as if we haven't seen a coach of a team go from one team to another and maybe bring a few players with them. It's not out of the question these days. Now look, the one good thing I will say about the transfer portal is there were so many kids that committed to a school to play for them, and then the coach would chase the money and be gone the next year for a couple extra $1 million at a different school, because the coaches have no allegiance at all. They don't even care if they coach for their alma mater or not. They're hired mercenaries. But these kids were signing contracts, and those contracts were binding. And if the coach that you signed up with left to chase money, your ass was stuck. You weren't going anywhere. So in this scenario, I think it may be okay. Like these guys signed up to play for that coach. That coach leaves. But that was our guy. That was our glue. And
maybe Florida can get some juice in there. Muddy's saying we're gonna bring 5 guys from the portal. The talk is hopefully Castleton stays for 1 year. Appleby left. Thank goodness. My Lord, he's out of there. Thank goodness for that. Moving on to the orange and blue game. Coming up next week, we are beyond excited for this right here. Look, they moved it to a night game. We've talked about that. It's going to be at 6 p.m. It is a free game. So anybody who's there or around or close, send it. The gates open at 6 p.m. Get there. Get your butts in the seats. It's a hot topic. The Gator walks at 5. WWE superstar Titus O'Neil will set the tone as the team takes the field. So that'll be a good time. They're doing a bunch of giveaways. They're giving away a scooter. That's probably more, hopefully so, for the college students, but I thought that was pretty cool.
That's a horrible idea. We've already talked about this.
The scooters in college?
The scooters thing is a horrible idea.
I love it.
Nothing good happens to a college athlete
just for US
on a scooter. I just don't understand it.
It's a must in Gainesville. One of our viewers, Connor, my buddy, he went to Gainesville and he had a scooter. And I remember when I went and visited him, my number one thing I wanted to do was go ride around on that scooter. Man, it was electric, literally. It was a good time. But I'm beyond excited. We have a huge guest coming up next week. Connor, he's a Sports Illustrator writer for Florida. So basically he's all about that. The guy's got huge insight with recruits. He was big on the recruiting. We were going to have him for the recruiting aspect during that time, like right when they were during signing day, but he got put onto another podcast. Super busy. Totally got it. But we've talked. We're locking it in. We are going to be with him next week live. So come for that because it's going to be an incredible show. He's agreed. Hopefully I don't kick myself in the butt and he bulls out. But It's going to be a good time. He's got good insight on the Gators. He's got a great head on his shoulders. It's going to be a great conversation. We also have an interview lined up with JD with college football. Has a great channel. If you're a huge college football guy, we're going to do an entire segment with him. Not going to be live, just going to be a little 2-on-1 action and kind of get his insight on the Gators offense. He has his own videos now where he breaks down their offenses and defenses. So we've been in talks with him to have them on. So really excited to have those guys on the show over the next 2 weeks. It's going to be great.
Yep. Both of those guys, I've watched a lot of their stuff and super excited to have them both on. Looking forward to it.
Oh, goodness. I clicked a button and almost banned Muddy Waters. That'll be bad here. Let's check the comments before we move on to the next stuff.
Let's hit it. We haven't done this in a second.
Yep. Daniel says, we will see how many kids hit the portal. Ryan says, this is what you get for chasing out Mike White. I tried telling you to stop being so greedy. So, look, everyone's pumped for this new change. Some people are pumped, some people are kind of weird. I haven't heard much coming out of the Golden camp, right? I felt like when Billy came in, I mean, we were hearing everything. And my ear has been to the floor waiting to hear some news and to hear what's going on with this, but it hasn't been as loud as I was hoping it would be. Now, again, I know basketball season's far away, but Billy came in and was immediately making splashes, getting portal transfers, getting Kamari Wilson, making visits. I mean, it was instantaneous what he was doing in the recruiting aspect. I haven't heard the same news. Now, it could be that I'm just not hearing it. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong ports for that information, but it's not as loud as I was hoping that it would be. I could be wrong here, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, it could just be timing, too. I mean, we're talking about the very, very end of basketball. And look, you don't really know, especially with Mike White leaving, what the mindset of the team is. If you're walking into a situation where your first focus has to be to retain the team that you have as opposed to spreading out and going after new talent, well, then that circle gets a lot smaller, and you're not making a lot of news. You're not out there surprising people. We don't know what the temperature of the Florida basketball locker room is right now. He may need to do a little bit more damage control than we think. Just a thought. I'm not saying that's the case at all, but to your point, there's been a lot less wow factor in the first opening couple of weeks than there was for Billy. Yep. But hey, look, our basement football league guys are definitely in the comments in there. So everybody go to their page, like, subscribe. They're great, great kids, creative, and my gosh, Jet does a ton of work. Shelton tells me all the time, by the way, how much work he has to do off the cast to get everything out. And I'm telling you right now, Jet does the TikToks, he does the editing. It's his basement. He made the field. He does everything. He basically makes Shelton look like a pair of clown shoes. If Jet makes me look like a pair of clown shoes, I don't even know what you look like. Because this is why Jet and I get along so well. Don't give yourself that much credit, okay? I hold the shoe together. That's all I do.
Don't do that. No, you're the crumb that falls off the shoe, okay?
Here we go. Oh, sarcasm and what was that I said to you earlier?
Sarcasm. Oh, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, sarcasm and whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Update from Maverick. FSU and Florida headed in the 10th inning. So much for a walk-off.
Come on, Lady Knowles.
Okay, so Ryan says this, and sometimes you got to take what Ryan says with a grain of salt. Reports are that Golden is overwhelmed and has no clue what he's doing in this league. He needs to get his sunshine pants and go back to San Francisco and keep coaching high school basketball. That might be a little overstretched. Ryan likes to get a little colorful with his words at times, so I don't know how true that could be. Again, there's just not a lot of noise, so it's hard to really gauge of what's really happening on or inside the camp of the Golden era. Look, it's still early, but we'll see. Let's get into some exciting news really quick about the football side of things, because that's all we've really got exciting. Let's introduce you. Let me get a little more information on who we have coming in. We talked about the recruits who visited, but more and more with each passing day, these guys were getting the crystal ball that they're coming to Florida. Trayon Webb. He has they're doubling down on him coming. He's from Jacksonville, Florida, Trinity Christian Academy, right down the road from you, Steve. 5'11", 188, 4-star recruit, ranked number 5th at his position, number 15 overall. That's the first one we've got going on right now. Really excited about him. There's a picture, I believe it's of, I don't know who that is. That might be his dad or brother, passing a torch So excited for that. Again, that seems pretty almost like a shoo-in for that one. The next one we have is defensive lineman Derek LeBlanc, 6'5", 270. Beast.
He's a defensive end?
Lineman.
Oh, okay. So he's inside. Oof, golly.
Yes. Terrell Owens was a running back.
To be an outside line guy. Oof.
6'5", 270, another 4-star recruit, ranked number 9 at his position from Osceola, Kissimmee, Florida, right down the road. Everyone's got him at 4 stars. So again, another heavy recruit for 2023. Again, what I love, man, we're doing this huge. The recruiting team is doing a lot of this retro vibe, which is done really well. And I want to say it was Trayon Webb too. I may be mistaken here. I'm sure Muddy will quote me on this. That tweeted out "Why not the Gators," which started this entire hashtag "Why not." And I love it. It's just this energy has been unreal for 2023. Even when I went and looked, I reached out. We've got another potential interview. This one's not as shoo-in. He did get a response. I've been ghosted since, but Tony Mitchell, who was a 5-star recruit who visited Florida this past weekend, I reached out to him and said, "Hey, we'd love to get your take on things." He said, "Yeah, no problem." Haven't heard anything since. But when I was on his Instagram, he's been to Texas A&M, he's been to Auburn, he's been to Florida, right? And just looking, and this is what I noticed too prior when the kids were going to these schools, taking photos with their schools. I mean, that's a big thing to them. What pictures can they go home and post on their Instagram? How can they look the coolest when they come back, right? And I don't feel like we did a great job prior to this year. Now, the pictures look like they're out of the 80s and 90s. They're wearing the retro. There's the entire brand they have that's representing Florida right now. I looked up their stuff. It's this guy who has like collected retro gear who's basically selling it to Florida. Brilliant. The guy's making a killing. I looked some of the stuff up. It's stupid expensive. Just for like old, like your like star, jackets. That's the hats, the old style hats, the big puffy jackets, the Jordans, old Jordans.
The big those, man. That's what I grew up with.
Baggy pants.
That's what it looked like when I was a kid. That was awesome. That's
what I'm saying, right? Like, and that style is coming back, and Florida's doing a great job of capturing that and putting these kids in that limelight and just making them feel like superstars and big deals. So again, it's exciting stuff. Who do we have next? Offensive lineman Peyton Kirkland, 6'7", 315 pounds, out of Dr. Phillips, Orlando. Again, another 4-star recruit. These guys are just tanks, bro.
Why are they so damn tall? What are they eating?
Bro,
what the hell?
I realized the other day that I am short, Steve. Like I used to think I was average. I'm not average. I'm 5'10". I am not average. Some people say I'm not. There's no shot. 6 foot 6'1" is the new average. I am a midget among society at this point.
I know Jet's still on. I'm not even going to make this reference, but my gosh, if this is a situation where if you watch the wrong scenarios, like if we talk about sports, we're going to feel like we're small. And in other scenarios, you could really, really put a detriment to your self-esteem if you maybe stumble across the wrong videos. But my gosh, 6'7" and 6'5",
It's crazy. Let me get to the next one. We got wide receiver. Finally, got some hands out there. We're going to get into that a little bit in just a minute here. The drought of hands we have at Florida right now. Wide receiver Eugene Wilson III. So they got a good heritage there. Got a nice stream going. We got 3 in a row here. Received an offer from us. 5'11". So look, now I'm feeling good. I'm feeling back to normal. 162. Okay. Back down to reality here. We need the 6'7" guy to lose some weight and put him on the outside. He's from Tampa, Florida. He is also a 4-star recruit. Again, these guys are these top 5 are heavy favorites to come to Florida. That's kind of where this is coming from.
If he can catch, put him at tight end.
I mean, I've got something. We've got a Dante Zander from a D lineman has been transferred to tight end and has been doing great apparently according to Billy Napier. So anybody can play at this point. Right now we've got offensive tackle Bryce Lovett, 6'5", 305 pounds, 3-star recruit. That one feels pretty good. Ranked number 57 at his position. Again, that's the last of the 5 recruits that we have looking at. So I wanted to kind of give everyone a little more insight on those guys they've been visiting over the last few weeks here. So I wanted to get some more insight. More people are still visiting. I think it's only going to get busier. It's only going to get louder. But, whew, I'm loving it, baby. I am loving it.
Yeah, the spring game will be great for you guys. Like, the one thing I will say is it was a smart move by Napier. Even though it's a Thursday game, those recruits are still going to make it down there. They're still going to see it. And look, you'll have the SEC network probably to yourself. Like, there won't be any competition. It may not.
That's
It may
why he
even
moved
be
it.
live. Yeah,
That's why he moved it.
You're not talking about like the seventh spring game replay that comes in on Sunday afternoon at 4:00 that nobody's going to watch. You'll probably have it live if I'm not mistaken. So, well done by him. Like, I mean, he's marketed well. I love the retro throwback stuff. I have seen a little bit of the even some of the old school muscle gator starting to be a bit more like the not the dumb green one. I'm talking about the old school, little one, and that I like that. So more power to him. He's doing great.
So Connor Clark, like we mentioned, he's going to be on next week. He might have some more insight on the recruiting aspect of things. Again, he is a Sports Illustrated writer for all Gators. He's going to be on the show next week. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Ask him some questions, blow him up. Again, I think he's going to have a little more insight on the recruits that are coming in, especially visiting that game. So we'll have a little more insight next week, and we're excited to share that as well. Before we go on to the next topic, comments really quick. Basement Football League, Jet, High Top Sports being the commentators. I don't hate that. Look, we love that kind of stuff. I would love whatever you need, Jet. You gave us one. Maybe we get a video where you send us over a video and we go back and forth. Steve and
we'll dub this so well. Yeah,
we got that. We got that. FSU took a 3-2 lead, Steve. So congrats on that. I love how you still have yet to wear an FSU shirt since the disaster 2 weeks ago.
I told you what I was doing. Not until I get a W somewhere.
Well, maybe tonight will be your night.
Hey, we'll see.
Daniel says
I missed my FSU gear. My Bobby Bowden hoodie. I missed that thing. It's comfy.
247. Daniel says that 247 predicted Florida to go 6-4 and make a measly bowl game. He had some more colorful words, but we're not going to say those here today.
Yeah, I did see that. 247 came out with a couple of different rankings on where they thought the three. I'm going to call them the three power schools and not upset anybody that went to UCF. But the three power schools, none of them had any real confidence that we would do anything at all. With Cristobal down in Miami, obviously you guys going through a transition, and we still don't know if Norvell's the right guy. So they didn't have a lot of confidence in the Florida schools doing well.
Sure. I mean, it's honest, like you said, it's kind of like where we're at this time, unfortunately. Money said, and I've heard a few of these things. So 5-star offensive tackle from IMG Academy loves Billy. I haven't heard any negative thing about Billy. He's set up for 2 more visits. And then also 2 5-star top 5 wide receiver from Alabama has entered the portal. And apparently he's down to USC, which is, I could see being big, UF and Oklahoma. Honestly, I don't think Oklahoma has a chance. Why would you go there out of those other 2 options? I think the upside seems to be a little bit better for the other 2. I see USC being probably a heavy competition for that, with Caleb Williams out there and it just being in an easier division because it's a joke of a division. And anytime I can roast on USC.
I'd be interested to see where the kid's from. I think when you start to see transfer stuff, you see transfer and they start to get closer to home. I don't know if maybe the concept of signing for a school and going to that school, even if it's a long ways away, they jump back in the transfer portal, and man, they may not go home, but they get closer to home. So I'd be interested to see where this guy is that Muddy just brought up.
Sure, the 5-star, yeah. Muddy says he's 6'3" and a midget in his family. Yeah, I am. Thanks, Muddy. Thanks for confirming that I'm a dwarf at this point. I appreciate that. My goodness. One time I felt so big. Maverick says not looking good. FSU's up 4-2. Not good. Timbry says don't poke the bear. Yeah, we've learned. Stevie gets spicy when he gets hot.
we got a Timbry sighting. I see that.
Yeah. Moving on for some Florida talk, or actually we're still on the Florida talk real quick about Billy Napier. So he had his, what did he have? He had his press conference this past week. Again, I love listening to the guy talk. Just everything just feels good, right? It feels raw. It feels like it's coming from a natural place. I feel like when Dan Mullen will talk, I've always mentioned this, it just felt kind of fluffy, just over exuberant, right? Dan just, hey, we're here, we're playing good, good football. They ask like, hey, where are you at? His quote says, team's not where he wants it to be, but look, we're always going to be wanting progress. Always a work in progress. We could just win the championship, the World Series, Super Bowl. We're always going to be a work in progress. Kind of cliche, but when he says it, it seems like, yeah, like he means it. You know what I mean? Like you're not just saying it to say it. You're genuinely saying it. He talked about like, look, we're going to be busy in the portal. I have what do I have pulled up here for what he said exactly? His quote. What did he say? Yes, they're going to be very aggressive in the portal. We need players. And like I mentioned, Dante Zander has been moved from D-line to tight end. He's even got long snapper taking reps at the tight end position. So they're making guys work all over the place right now, all over the field.
I called it the 6'7", 300. Yeah, Adonis, I'm sure is what his name is, middle name. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be lining up and taking some snaps as well.
I can see Billy being extra aggressive come after this spring game, and seeing into that portal. He's never been shy about being aggressive in the portal. Again, I think that's what separates him. Look, I'm not going to just settle for being whatever, and that was something we always talked about with Dan, right? Dan would always be bought into the guy. He felt like he owed the guy something. He would be overly committed. I like the aspect of like, hey, we're family, but we're here to win. My thing is, it's not that you're. So you have two arguments here, right? Like, hey, I'm committed to the guy. I want to show that I'm committed to these kids, et cetera, et cetera. But my thing is, if he's calling back in.
Love it.
Where was I going with this? He threw me off.
But he's too bought in, and he's not willing to give up.
He's too bought into the players, right? But my thing is, look, you're bought into the team. This tells me, look, I'm committed to the team being successful. I'm not overly committed to one guy and saying like, hey, this is your position. I'm going to work with you. No, I'm bought into everybody. I'm bought into winning. So if I have to go out and get pieces to plug in so we can all be winners here, then so be it. And to me, that shows me that you're more bought in and you're more committed to our success than just being all in on one guy thinking like, hey, like this is it. And that's kind of what I felt like, and we always hit it, where Dan focused way too much on.
Yeah, and we talked about that a lot. It just felt like once he had committed to the player, he couldn't get out of it. He couldn't set a standard. He couldn't set an expectation and say, look, I'm bought in. You're my guy. But there's this, the whole W's thing. And that kind of looked like it became more and more of a hindrance for him, especially as he was just hardcore committed to Emory. And look,
sure,
there may be some other players, like maybe an offensive lineman or so that just you kind of got washed out in the overall play. But Emory obviously got all the talk because he was their primary guy. He's the one who touches the ball every time. So when Emory was off, it made Dan look off. But I mean, look, there could have been that same scenario with a defensive tackle that was maybe not playing quite as well, but there's a front seven that makes that one guy kind of wash out, so you don't see it. But you're right. I mean, you saw it on the position that mattered the most, and his reluctance, even with the talent that you had at Richardson sitting right there. I don't think anybody could argue with what what his mindset was as a coach.
I think he's got to be extra aggressive again in that portal, because there could be a point where, look, if Anthony starts showing some flashes of some greatness and he feels that the talent around me is bringing me down, AR might say deuces. Like, I mean, it's not crazy to think. You know what I mean?
Nothing is outside the realm of possibility with the teeth of the transfer portal. It could tear. The teeth of the transfer portal is a shark, and whether or not the shark decides to nudge you and move on, or just rip your entire roster to shreds, could be just razor thin here. It could just be like the make or break.
And again, that's kind of where these coaches are going to have a hard time with the portal. This is my negative side of the portal. I had a positive thing to say about the portal, but this is the negative. If a few of your guys that, hey, they're part of that foundation, that part of that process of building that new team, if they don't see things going in the right direction quickly enough, they're out of there. And now this time that you just put into these guys building your base is now gone, and now it could get ugly really, really fast. Unfortunately,
or lost recruits at certain positions because you looked like you had plenty of them. I think that's the other thing is these kids are looking at coming in and playing, and they want to play immediately. And, if you look at a roster that's got, an established 5 wide receivers that are underclassmen, I don't know if I want to go there. I may not see the field for a while. And then it only takes 1 season and 3 of those guys leave. And now you've not only lost these 3 guys, but you lost the recruit. So we've gone back and forth on this. It'll probably bore everybody for us to do it again, but there's positives and negatives.
Yeah, it absolutely. I mean, I think every time we have a conversation, I feel like I can find the positive, I can find the negative too. When it impacts my team, that's when it's negative, right? As a whole,
of course.
As a whole, as a team, it's negative. For an individual, it's always positive. Moving on, really quick. There has been some outrageous talk here. Okay, outrageous talk. This to me is it's out of control. Kevin Durant came out during an interview and said that he feels that OKC and Golden State should retire his jersey. It would be bad for the game of basketball if they did not. And he says Brooklyn should not retire his jersey yet, but maybe after 4 or 5 years, they probably should be on that train as well to retiring my jersey.
We're talking about the same Kevin Durant that plays for the NBA, right?
Yes, that one that plays for the 10th seed Brooklyn Nets. The Kevin Durant who never won one at OKC. The Kevin Durant that rode the back of Golden State.
One of the best teams in the history of the NBA.
That one, yes, that one. That one says that his number should be retired at all of those places.
Yeah, that's a reach, Kevin. When you were at OKC,
we're on a first name basis now.
Well, we are when you say dumb things, and I have to talk to him like a child.
Okay.
So listen, Kevin, I'm going to need you to sit down, and here's a tissue because you're not going to like what I have to say. But look, when you were at OKC, you didn't win a championship, and you had Harden and Westbrook. That's good enough to win it just about everywhere. And
well,
then
the year they had those all 3, they lost to Miami.
But they lost.
They were young. They were young. But yes,
okay.
Continue.
But then you turn around and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to bail. I'm not going to stick around here. I'm not going to try to win with this. And then you bail after blowing a 3-0 lead to Golden State to go play for that team. Continue. Right. To your point, if I can't beat them, I will join them. And this is the epitome. If I cannot beat you, I will join you. And it just, you got your championship there, but they were going to win a championship without you, Kevin. And then since then, Kevin, you've moved on, and it's not. You're not who you are. You're not who you were, and it's not enough to win. Then it's not enough to win now.
I respect Kevin Durant's game. I don't respect Kevin Durant. I think he's egotistical. I think he's entitled, and I don't know. I feel like we're getting sooner and sooner where people feel like they're the GOAT and they're great. I think that is an after the thought process. People were getting too caught up in being, like I said, the GOAT during the process while playing. And Tom Brady has kind of, I think, maybe opened that door to that. But Tom Brady is a special breed where that is allowed, right? I mean, he's surpassed that prime where he is old, so he's allowed to be called the GOAT while he's still playing. Kevin Durant's not there. And like you said, the 2 championships that he have were piggyback off the team. It's not like he did what Giannis did in Milwaukee, where he was drafted by that team. He stood by that team. He grew with that team, built around him with that team, and won for his team. A team that hasn't won for 40-plus years, right? So that I could see if they retired his jersey. They retired, was it Kareem they retired? I think. Is it
Minnesota?
No, yeah, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, oh yeah. Yeah, Milwaukee, I think, retired Kareem.
And if you look at their stats, they've done the exact same thing in his numbers in the Raptors. Now, that's not a conversation for right now. That's way too soon. Michael Jordan's jersey was retired by the Bulls, obviously, and Miami, because they just respected him that much. Miami has retired Alonzo Mourning, partly due to the fact that he was kind of like the founding father. He was like the first big deal to come to Miami, because Miami didn't get started until about the late 80s, I think it was. So that kind of makes a little bit of sense. But Dwayne Wade could possibly be retired. I don't know, but that he has more of option being retired than a Kevin Durant OKC where he never won, and a Golden State. What are we just going to retire everybody's number? And for you to think that it should be retired, that's something that's given to you, right? You earned that. It's not something that you say that you're supposed to get. I hate that, and that to me, that should put a stain on that for the fact that you're claiming for it, that you're basically proclaiming that this is you guys better do this. Well, we can't have any jerseys.
Or it's a stain on the league. Yeah, no.
It's unacceptable. Like we're gonna first of all we're gonna run out of numbers. I wouldn't even be surprised if Cleveland didn't retire LeBron's number in Cleveland. And I mean he because of kind of how it went, but I mean he was their godfather for a little bit. I mean he put Cleveland on the map.
Oh, so, absolutely. I mean, look, he was there. He started his career for the most part there, and then he only left because he didn't feel like there was an opportunity to win, and then came back. He came back after they burned his jerseys. And then won championships. You absolutely put that guy's jersey in the rafter. But for Kevin Durant, who has really never been anything other than a role player, and when he was a star player, he couldn't do it. So Kevin, I don't know, Kevin.
I mean, he's a star. He's a star now, and he's not getting it done in Brooklyn. Look. I just think retiring somebody's jersey is something that is it's supposed to be cherished. It's supposed to be something that's special. It's meaningful. It has to have an impact. We can't just go around handing out jerseys like that. I mean, you have to make an impact to the city, to the team, hold all kinds of records. Right? And for example, if you go and play for LA for 15 years, the Lakers, it's going to be really hard to get your number retired there. Simply due
they don't have any more room in the rafters.
One, two, the history there, right? I mean, it's be nearly impossible to have your name retired there at this point. The Lakers should never retire a jersey again, simply due to the history, right? That makes sense. You can argue because OKC, I mean, Kevin was the first one at OKC because it went from Seattle to OKC, right? So I could see kind of like his point. He started it there, so maybe I could see a little bit. But Golden State, dude, come on. That team was full of superstars. I mean, that team was an incredible team
championships
before
you were there. Yes, but that doesn't surprise me from Kevin. You know, little Kevin. He's always kind of been a little bit of a prima donna. There was always a bit of a weird personality mix. Even when he went to Golden State, he got his rings. He had a couple of huge shots. Look, I'm not saying he didn't play his ass off and wasn't a significant role player for them, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like he's ever been the guy when he needed to be the guy. He's been the guy at opportunity when opportunity strikes, but I don't know. But to say that they have to do it or they should be doing it. If you're a player and you're asking teams to retire your number, you've got this all wrong, kid.
I don't see them retiring any jerseys in the near future, simply to the fact that just nobody's staying around anymore. Everybody's always trying to find the next best thing, the next best contract. I could see it not happening, and that goes into the next thing is baseball, right? Baseball is the same suit. And my next question is the Freddie Freeman. 15 years in an Atlanta Brave jersey, MVP, Super Bowl or World Series champion, and now he's gone. And the question is, do the Braves retire the jersey number 5 for Freddie Freeman? We have some great numbers retired: Chipper Jones, Hank Aaron, Maddox, Glavine, right? The legends. Bobby Cox is another one, number 6, retired. Yep. Right, so it's 5. Should 5 hang in the rafters? First of all, we're going to lose all the good numbers if we do that. The Braves got a little hot and heavy in retiring numbers. Now that Maddox, Glavine, that train, the Cox, the Chipper, that train, I get it. The Hank Aaron, right? Those are fine. But some people are saying, should we retire Freddie? I mean, he spent 15 years with them. He from the beginning to we were hoping the end, but due to the fact that he left and the way that he did leave, no. Now, could there be a possibility if for some reason after his 6 years in LA, or maybe he gets traded after 2 and he comes back and he ends his last 5 years at Atlanta?
Yeah.
Then maybe.
Yeah. Because look, it's a transactional league. If he leaves for a year, maybe 2, and he says, I'm done with baseball and I've made my money, I'm coming home and I'm going to finish my career with Atlanta, I respect the hell out of that. And I would say, you know what, you put that guy somewhere where he should be cherished. But in the grand scheme of it, let's be honest. Let's look at the people who are retired in Atlanta. You look at Chipper Jones, you look at Hank Aaron, you look at Glavine, you look at the other people whose numbers have been set aside to never be born again.
All were part of winning a ring.
Yep. And do you put Freeman in that category of talent? Was he consistent year after year and year? And did he do everything that these other guys did? And it's not just about a championship. Was he consistent every year and made every team better? And I'm not saying he didn't, but that's where you got to look at it. Like, look at the talent level of the people that you are setting aside to be in your circle of excellence and determine if that guy fits that mold. If he does, take his jersey off, put it on the wall and never let another person wear it again. If he just stayed there for 15 years because he really liked Atlanta in the state of Georgia, then maybe that's not it.
So when you pitch it like that, I would say, yes, he's matched up to all those guys. Because Glavine and Maddox, they went on, they played for other teams. Maddox went to the Cubs. Glavine, I don't recall. Chipper did not. Chipper didn't go anywhere. Cox didn't go anywhere. They both retired as Braves. And I think that's part of it. Maybe 5-6 years go by, and Freddie has a second half Hall of Fame career where he wins another ring, hopefully not in LA, maybe another MVP. Maybe that, again, that's why retiring a jersey is something that happens later on, past your career. We're not angry. We're not in the moment. We're not emotional, right? Because he's still young too, right? Retiring the jersey thing is like an old guy thing where you kind of like learn to respect, like, that guy was a GOAT. He did a lot of great things for a lot of great years, right? It's you always appreciate it after the fact. So it could be something that later on down the road we're like, yeah, we're not that mad that you went to LA, because right now I'm pretty pissed. But I think it's just time will tell. I don't think it's a no right now, but it's not a yes. It's not close to a yes. As if he would be signing with the Braves and we had this conversation, I'm like, yeah, definitely after these 5 years you're going to retire his jersey. But right now, no. I saw. I'm not even gonna say it out loud. Really quick. Okay. WFL says, "Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining. Glad to catch your show. Glad you're here. WFL, appreciate you, Bubba. These guys are going off. Connor says master predictions. Let's get into this really quick before we go into the last topic. I mean, is there anyone else to predict? Tiger Woods is back, baby. Tiger Woods is back, plus 4,000. You best believe I already put the money down. And I'm going to say it here on the cast, okay? The wife and I made a bet. I've jokingly always made a joke that, hey, when we have our first kid, if it's a boy, I want to have the middle name Tiger. And obviously, it's always been like a thing. And she's like, no way. And I'm like, babe, like, I've made the arguments of why it would be a good idea to have the middle name Tiger, right? Well, we're going back and forth, and like I'm getting the fives. I'm watching the old Tiger videos, the chip in on 16, right? The roars, the flush, the club twirls, right? The fist pumps, the screams, the better than most. I've been getting fired up for the last 48 hours for this Masters week and Tiger Woods making the ultimate comeback. And I go, babe, if Tiger wins this year, when we have our first son, because obviously the daughter, she said no. When we have our first son, I get to lock it in. And she goes, if you make this bet and you lose, you don't ever talk about it or bring it up ever again. But if you win, it's yours. You can call him Tiger.
Whew.
So
Whew.
I said.
Now,
so
what name do you go with? Do you go with the first name? Or do you go with the middle name? Like,
no,
what do you call the kiddo?
It's gonna be middle. It's gonna be blank Tiger Walker. So I said, let me sleep on it. Right, this was last night we were talking about. I said, let me sleep on it. I was like, can I get till Thursday? Can I see if he's at least gonna play? Right, and she goes, that's fine. You can even have half a Thursday. See him play for a little bit. Right. I pull up a clip. 20 seconds into the clip of the music going and him hitting his ball, I turn around, I go, I'm making the bet, baby. It's Tiger freaking Woods. I didn't even hesitate. I said, let's get it on, baby.
Oh boy. Well, look, I mean, with all that going into it, you have no other option but to take the Tigger. But I will say, like, Tiger Walker, it feels like a lazy tiger. Like, well, no, go run, Tiger, run, Tiger. I gotta. All my Tiger does is walk.
Tiger as a middle name is incredible. It's named after the greatest golfer of all time. So hopefully Tiger can bring it home. Hopefully Tiger sees this, gets a little extra motivation for him.
That's it right there.
To get it. I mean, look, Tiger, I'm trying to show you some love. That's my prediction. Who's your prediction, Steve? I don't think you have the same passion and love. I don't know if Steve even knows what a golf ball looks like, but we'll hear you out, Stevie.
I've seen one at the bottom of a Jack and Diet at Topgolf. I hit the ball pretty well for about the first 12 to 15 minutes until the third one's down, and then
we all do.
Things get a little sloppy. If I had to pick right now, I'd throw out either, I don't know, Justin Thomas, or I'll even go with a homer pick and say Brooksy.
Are you looking at the top? You just picking the top 10? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I mean, Justin Thomas is just really good, and I don't even know all that much about golf, but I went with Justin.
Those are really good picks. I saw you look over
Brooksy,
you're looking up names.
Brooksy's a homer pick. No, well, I have a notepad. I didn't even actually pick anything. This my little notepad for this thing. But I didn't. It literally says
Brooks the favorite
retiring jersey. It literally my notepad ends at retiring jerseys. So the rest of this is all off the cuff.
Oh, Brooks is the favorite to win right now. So that's a great. He really is.
That guy will get drunk. He'll be drunk by Friday night, and he'll just wane Saturday and Sunday.
This is what this guy does. So I think those are great picks. I'm taking Tiger, and I'm taking Xander Schauffele in my golf group. So those are my two picks. Anybody wants to take that money and run, because I think those are solid picks. Also, Dark Knight, really quick, guys, plus like 9,000 to put a little money on this guy, Gary Woodland. I'm calling right now, because if I hit this, we're gonna explode. I'm making a TikTok. This is gonna be the one. Gary Woodland wins. I'm calling it. That's my Dark Knight. Not my want, not my love. Tiger's winning it. But if Tiger doesn't, it's gonna be Gary Woodland. This could be a complete flop, but I'm here for it. Really quick, WFL, and I have two things I see here. We are privileged to be alive to see Tiger, and I preach this all the time. And this is like the Tom Brady thing. Like it honestly frightens me to see. Like I'm concerned that my children won't be able to experience what we've been so privileged to come across. Like you had Jordan, right? I didn't get to see that. I just hear about it. I get to watch The Last Dance. I can't wait for Tom Brady's Last Dance. I can't wait for Tiger Woods' Last Dance. HBO came out with a Tiger Woods documentary. Trash sticks. Not a real one. I want a legit one. Like once it's all said and done, I want to see it all from start to finish, to the women, to the crashes, to Lindsey Vonn, to winning his 6th Masters on Sunday, right? I want to see start to finish. Tom Brady has already had like movies throughout his career because he's so great, but I want the home run hitter. I want the guy who made The Last Dance. Hire him for these two guys, because we're not going to see something like this ever again. With the way we're headed with social media and how money just flies, the need to dominate is not there anymore. It's simply just, let's go make money, let's get a nice house, and let's have fun. That's the culture we have created. And I hate it. I was going to say I don't hate it, but I hate it. I mean, it's nice. I'm glad that people get to appreciate it and make money and have fun, but it's killed the excitement. It's killed the dominance that we love. Like the Dale Earnhardts of the world, we don't have that anymore, man. And it just, I get so irked when I talk about it. Tiger's son is a beast. Charlie could be good, but I don't think. Look, there's something about your the way you're brought up and the things you go through your childhood that make you an absolute animal, right? That just make you. That's why you have vangs. That's why we have vangs, right? We're criminal. We eat meat, right? We're grown men, so we slap them when they talk about our women's. You know what I'm saying? Charlie's had it easy, my guy. I'm gonna be honest. He hasn't had it tough. So I'm not saying he's not good. All these guys are good. But what separated Tiger from everybody else was the mindset. It was never the skill. It was what was up here. And what starts up here starts at a very young age. And nobody has that anymore. I'm off. I'm done.
I love Muddy's comment. I appreciate that. You were starting to scare the viewers, and you can get a little bit crazy from time to time. Like I love Muddy's comment. I want to see the Zion Williams career HBO documentary next year.
It's a short one. It's a short one.
It's one shoe blew out, 2 shoe blew out, career blew out.
I love this. I've been saying he's a wash since the beginning. So this is a W in Shelton's corner. That's a point. I've been saying he's been trash since day one. I'm using that wrong on this stuff. Hey, WFL said preach, brother. So he appreciated the rant. All right. If you're a golfer, you get the feeling. You feel the blood flow. Daniel said something, and I want to say this. They're right, Steve. He says, Muddy, when are we going to be on this show? We got to get Daniel and Muddy on the show. We got to figure something out. But when we get them on the show, it's got to be hostile. I mean, I want blood drawn. I don't want just like we got to figure out some kind of thing. So let's do this. We've got Connor next week. We've got possibly Tim Young the following week. Let's shoot for like 3 or 4 weeks, boys. We got to get your contact info, though. I've got to figure out how to contact you guys. So message us. Follow me either on Instagram. My Instagram handle is SheltonWalker5. Okay? Or message us through TikTok. DM us through TikTok, boys, so we can get this conversation started. I'm all ears. I'm all in.
We've talked about it a million times that we wanted to not just make this about Blondie and I just sitting here pontificating about sports and just coming up with our own stupid ideas. The beginning of this, when we first started it, was we wanted you guys to be on. We wanted people to be on. We wanted opinions. We wanted different viewpoints. Your ideas are, trust me, our ideas, and we will 100% back you guys up on it and have you on the cast with us. Can't wait.
Love it. Find me. SheltonWalker5 on Instagram. Message me. Let's get this ball rolling. I'm ready to. Let's do it. Jet didn't mean to call pod. No worries, dude. No worries. I was stressed and thought you had a little thing you wanted to hop in there. Let's go into our last little subject here. Terrell Owens is back, ladies and gentlemen. He's playing for the Tampa Bay Bucks. I loved it.
That is gray bait.
Gray bait. that was all clickbait. That was every bit of it. So T.O. has signed a deal to play for FCF, fan-controlled football with Johnny Manziel next year. Look, there's a reason for this, okay? Saw an interview with him. He's on Pat McAfee. He talked about having conversations with coaches and owners of a football team. Didn't drop any names. This is the first step of him coming back. They're like, look, we got to see you in action. Now, how much action is FCF? It's not much. But I'm sure they're like, we got to see you run a play. We got to see you get hit. We got to see how you handle yourself, how you get back up. I see him coming back. I see him being a great fit for Tampa. You know Tommy. He likes working with the old guys. He will make that relationship work. Why he hasn't been back yet is mind-boggling to me. I think this guy can still play football.
I mean, he's got the physique for it. He always has. He's always been in great shape. He's always, like, even in the last couple of years, he still puts things on his social media that shows that he's out there working out. He's out there running routes. I want to say he was out there running routes with Antonio Brown, and I want to say maybe Tyreek Hill, where they were doing a 40-yard dash to see who was the fastest one out of the three of them. I may not have been Antonio, but I know Tyreek and Owens did it. And look, Owens is 6'4", 6'5". The fact that he's even trying to put himself out there with Tyreek. But look, I'm down for it. I've always loved Owens' flash. You know, the spike in the football in the middle of the star. Just he's gone from team to team and just always done well, regardless of, you know, the circumstances, the quarterback. Like, I mean, he could get a little bit spunky, don't get me wrong, and that could be
a
distraction at times. But I think if he comes back into the league, he comes back in humble. And especially for somebody like a Tom Brady, I don't think it's difficult for him to keep that kind of thing muffled a little bit. Maybe that's the wrong word, but I don't think he lets it get out of control.
He managed T.O. for the most part, so I don't think it's that bad. Now, I wanted to compare T.O. to somebody. Joe Johnson. You know who Joe Johnson is? No, there's no shot. He's an NBA player. He was a stud in his prime. He was a stud in his prime. Played for Miami. Played all over the place. Played for the Nets. Was really good for a little bit. He's old now, right? But Ice Cube has the Big Three League, which is essentially like these, you know, arena football leagues. Isaiah Thomas played in the Big Three. A lot of these older guys who kind of had their career kind of in shorter than they wanted it to went and played in the Big Three. Joe Johnson got called back to the NBA because of the Big Three. Allowed him to get back on the court, allowed for the NBA players to see him. I'm comparing this situation to T.O., right? Okay. Most guys probably going to FCF aren't going to have an opportunity like arena football or like Canadian Football League. But it's kind of weird that he's not going to those two, but he's going to this one. He's probably getting a fat paycheck from FCF. Like, we got to get this ball rolling.
Pulling it up now. Yeah, good.
Yeah, but I really think that this is his play. Like, this is his last really hoorah or campaign to say, hey, I can do this. I promise. Give me a shot. And I think it'll be good for FCF. I think it's a cool concept. I like the idea. I love the entrepreneurship behind the idea. So I would like to see it do well as well. And XFL is coming around too.
It's coming back.
Yeah, Daniel just said XFL.
Yeah, and it's I've been looking at it too, but they've actually got a smart idea. They started to develop a little bit more of a relationship with the NFL instead of trying to be direct competitors with them, where the XFL almost becomes a development league for the NFL, and that by
becomes
itself,
a farm league.
Yes, and that by itself has got the NFL to stop using the XFL as a competitor, and now they're going to bring them in. They're going to bring them close. They're going to tell them, their players that aren't ready for the NFL that they have a place to go, and that relationship will do significantly better than anything that any of the two launches XFL tried to do before will ever compete with that. I mean, the relationship with the NFL to make it a D League is going to be what actually makes the XFL more of a long-term permanent thing. I
mean, that's what we all looked at it was anyways, but the Vince McMahon wanted it to be bigger than what it was because of the ego. The Rock, a businessman, comes in, gets part ownership, and is like, look, let's do what this really is, and obviously makes this thing work. So, great question. Little question. Who gets back in the NFL first? Hot take. T.O. or Colin Kaepernick? I'm taking T.O.
I'm taking T.O. I think Kaepernick will go into the XFL. I don't know. Kaepernick's had a couple of opportunities to get back into the NFL, and his contract demands were so absolutely ludicrous.
His ego is going to keep him out of it.
Sense. Yeah, it's him keeping himself out. It's not the NFL. He's had offers. He's had workouts. He's had the ability to get back in if he really wanted it. And you can't tell me he hasn't. But when he's gotten a team that said they were interested, it was like, for Tom Brady style money. It was dumb.
Tom Brady style money. Well, ladies and gentlemen, another great show. I would like to say thanks to Jet from BFL for joining us again. Jet, you were an absolute stud. A big fan, man. Can't wait to see where your show goes. Hey, when Detroit signs you, just don't forget about us. Okay, make sure you give us your first interview when you're big and famous.
The little guys.
That's all we ask, Jet. That's all we ask. Don't forget, next week we've got Connor Clark on from Sports Illustrated All Gators. Follow with an episode of JD College Football with College Football. Talks college football. So great stuff coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're on the way to 1,000. What are you doing if you're not subscribed already? We're the hottest podcast on the internet. I think so.
It's true.
Daniel, much love, baby. Guys, Muddy, Bryant, Maverick, Jet, Ryan, WFL, Jeff Steele, Connor, Ricky, Maverick, I already said it. Thank you all for stopping by, guys, today. We appreciate it. Timbri, be back next week at 8:35. Until then, go Gators!
Boogity boogity.
And boogity boogity boogity.
Women's softball!